a guy I've mentioned quite a few times on this show, but I just wanted to highlight Jameson Williams one more time, given that we've now seen back-to-back weeks with 60% or higher routes. He's only cleared that twice in his career, and they've been the last 2 weeks. So I get it. Jameson Williams, he'll just never get it done. Remember, this was the game changer that a lot of people had as their number one receiver in a very impressive class just 2 years ago. And I get that he has not fully realized that ceiling, hasn't been close here, but 2 catches on 3 targets, 44 yards and a touchdowns a week ago. Then he has a 50-yard bomb this last week. Sure, again, 3 to 4 targets a week aren't going to get it done for you. It's going to be tough to trust, but I keep looking ahead at the schedule and the way they're getting decimated right now, the Lions, they're going to keep getting bombed. You got the Cowboys on deck in the championships and multiple shootout narrative games coming up here, all of them in domes in your fantasy playoffs as well. So I just think there's a chance 60% of the routes becomes 80%, 4 targets become 8, and suddenly you're looking at a potential league winner here. So if you have the room to stash, I get it's a tough week to do it, but I do think Jameson Williams could be a meaningful stash moving forward. But I'm even more intrigued, despite a week 13 bye. You can't use him this week, but I really like what I saw out of Jalin Hyatt, just 3% rostered, another guy worth 2 to 5% of your FAAB, in my opinion. 5 catches on 6 targets, 109 yards this last week. The only Giants receiver to clear 100 yards this season. Tommy DeVito's preferred deep target. He had a whopping 65%, Jalin Hyatt, of the air yards. And despite a really, really impressive 20.83 ADOT, 83% of his targets were deemed catchable. That's really, really impressive to be in that type of deep role, to account for that much of the air yards and have a almost 21 ADOT and still see 83% catchable targets. 26% target share led the team. 26% targets per outrun led the team. 19 PPR points certainly led the team and is one of the highest marks we've seen out of a Giants receiver all season. We got a blazing fast 4.4 rather, 40-yard dash, 91st percentile, all training camp. Jalin Hyatt was a highlight reel player, the Litnikoff Award winner. He had a 6-catch, 207-yard, 5-touchdown day against the Crimson Tide. This guy can get it done. A lot of people labeled him as only a deep threat, but we saw the moves, the jukes, the after-the-catch ability throughout his performance against the Patriots. I was watching every snap of that game, and he just popped off the page, as he really has every time he's been used. Now, the next 2 weeks are pretty tough for Hyatt after the bye. Green Bay, 23rd, New Orleans, 27th, and points allowed to receivers. But then after that, the most points allowed in Philadelphia first, and then the Rams, a middle-of-the-road matchup for wide receivers. So maybe Hyatt, if he keeps getting this type of route share, 70% or more, I really, really like him moving down the stretch, a talent that I buy in and believe. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.